Welcome back. Let's see what's through this hole, shall we? Fortunately, this route, or whatever it is big enough for us to crawl through. Very convenient. And it looks like we're not the first people to crawl through it either. Sidro's been here and left some pages for us. The final painting is almost done. It's been hard work in the heat, but he must see everything that happened. As he follows the instructions I have left him, he will feel the pain I've suffered. If he doesn't, perhaps both of us will die. He's talking about the paintings, like the one we saw before, but this implies that there's more than one of them. I don't think he's talking about the one here, because I don't think it's that hot here, so there must be another painting somewhere where it is hot. Presumably in another age. And it seems he's making these paintings to show Atreus what has happened to him, how he has suffered. It seems he doesn't just want revenge, he wants Atreus to understand as well. Let's see. It seems like this takes us inside the Nemel lotus. Kinda dark here. Although I guess it could be even darker, because we already raised the stems a little bit by casting some light on here. If we hadn't done that, I suppose those would have been closed. These are the fruit of the Nemel lotus. Let's see. Looks like we can climb further up. Can we actually climb out? No. Would have been interesting if we could have, because that area is otherwise unreachable. Maybe we need to find a way to open this plant like the other one. So we can get out. Looks like we can manipulate this part of the inside. Makes a noise and releases some spores. Presumably that's to attract some animal that would eat the fruit. What I think happens here is that the fruit, when it ripens, grows and will press against this, causing the spores to be released, attracting something that will eat the fruit so the Nemel lotus can spread its seed. Although where to, I don't know, because there's not really any space inside this tree for any more of these plants to grow. Now is there? But we can't do anything with that. The spores are blocked as well because the plant is closed, and we can't go anywhere because the plant is closed, so I guess we need to open it. Finding your way out of this one is also quite a challenge sometimes. Let's see, this one's opened. And there seem to be two things that have to do with that. The light and the insects. And the insects aren't willing to leave here, even though they're scared off by the Vesuvi mushroom spores. They're attracted back to the stems. And we saw before that the stem is activated by the light. So maybe we can remove this lotus's light source. See if we can find where that is. This is where we came from. We came from up there. And then we turned left. It looks like we can also go right. And it seems that that takes us to the opening in the tree where the light is shining in, and you can already see there's another one of those fan palms here. Well, you know what that means. Yep, judging by the sound, that did something. Can't actually see it from here. There we go. This one's closed. Now let's see if the insects are more likely to leave. They're still here now, but maybe if we spray them with some mushroom spores again. Let's see what that accomplishes. And off they go! Presumably to the other one. You can actually hear it opening, which seems to be good. Of course, we could just go straight back in and see from the inside whether we've opened it, but I think it would be interesting to see that from the outside as well. Which means we need to go back here. There it is. And now it has indeed opened. And I think the other flower was actually missing that inner structure. Didn't seem to have it anymore. I guess it was already retrieved by whatever animal does that. And, well, if you think about it, there's really only one animal that we've seen here that could possibly do that. And it isn't the squee. Let's see if I can find the way back. That's not it. That's too far back, isn't it? Oh, I hate this navigation. There we go. Always forget where we need to go here. Come to think of it, we are again sort of upsetting the balance of the ecosystem, because if we release the spores now, and if the animal I think it is does show up to get the fruit isn't actually ripe yet. Which is not very nice of us. Can we get out from here now? No, doesn't look like it. Well, that means there's only one thing to try. Let's see what happens if we release the spores. Not much so far. Or... please don't drop us. Whoa. That was quite a ride. Good thing that bird didn't drop us. Good thing this is a game and not real life, because otherwise I don't think I would have actually dared to do this. Not that I would have had much choice, because of course you don't realize what's gonna happen until it does. I do feel kind of sorry for the bird, because we tricked it into collecting this fruit before it was ripe, which is a bad thing of course for the bird, but also for the fruit, because not only does the bird get food from the fruit, the plant itself also benefits by having its seed spread that way. They're sort of mutually dependent that way. Wait, that reminds me of something. Yeah, there it is. Nature encourages mutual dependence. One of the bolded phrases in Atreus' journal. Well, if you think about it, it's not that strange. After all, he did say that Jananin was the place that could have helped him the most with these concepts, so that indicates that Jananin is somehow linked to these concepts. And it seems that this particular age represents this concept. I wonder if that will be relevant later. Let's see where we can go. Doesn't look like we can join the bird in its nest, but maybe there's somewhere else we can go. And we can go down here. It's a symbol! And the stranger is conveniently writing it down, using the blank pages of Sidro's notebook. I guess he had a charcoal on him or something. So we don't actually have to take note of that, because we have it here now. And we can move it around and stuff, almost like a real inventory. I wonder how Sidro changed this, though. Probably just removed parts of it. Maybe covered some bits up. I don't know. Maybe he just rearranged it completely. Oh, look at that. We are now actually in the cage of vines and hardened sap that we could see from the beginning. Can we go back up? Somehow I doubt it. We can't. And there is the other Jananin linking book that we saw before. From up there somewhere. Maybe up there is where we saw the bird from. I think there was another... yeah, that's probably where we saw the linking book from. Well, we got ourselves a symbol and arrived at a book back, so I think it's time to leave this age behind. So it's back to Jananin. Interesting that this linking book takes us to the tower, whereas the other one we saw took us back to the tusk where we found the Idana book. But that's convenient, actually, because we need to scan that symbol. Hopefully that will give us access to that book. Although Sidro did talk about symbols in the plural, didn't he? So I'm guessing we're going to need more than one. Let's see what happens anyway. We can actually drag this out of our... I guess that's the inventory. This is what we saw Sidro do before.
Not so easy, is it, Atreus? Running like a rat through a maze, looking for some sign that'll help you save your world. Is it over here? Is it over there? Is it someplace I can't find? Sirius and Achenar didn't care about saving Narayan. All that talk about fixing instabilities, rewriting the age so that we would be free to live our lives, that was just talk, to hide the truth of why they had come. But we believed their lies, Atreus. So we abandoned our traditions, forgetting that those traditions were keeping Narayan alive. And when the lattice trees started to die, I followed them here to tell them what they had done. And they laughed. They said they would never fix Narayan. They said that they had already taken Everything it had worth saving. So, my dear old friend, Atris, I brought you to this place where your education begins. Find the remaining 2 symbols, and then come see what your boys did to Narayan.
Interesting. It's getting more and more clear what Sidro intends to do. The obstacle course he set us here, with the lesson ages and the changed symbols, isn't just to slow us down so he can prepare whatever it is he's preparing in, well, Narayan, I presume, is where this book goes. It is to teach Atris, to show what has happened to Sidro, what Sirius and Akanar did. And from what we've seen of it so far, well, I can understand why Sidro would be bitter. It seems that Sirius and Akanar returned to Narayan after the lessons were over and made some grand promises about fixing instabilities or something in the age. And I guess that's what was shown in the first painting that we saw in Edana. We saw Sirius and Akanar talking about linking books and about fixing their age to the people of Narayan, and not knowing that anything bad would come from it, the people of Narayan listened. Okay, but it seems we got this pedestal to raise. Now we need it to open, and we need to reach it. So I presume that means we need more symbols. And since we found the first symbol via one of the 3 viewers, I assume that there are 2 more ages for the remaining 2 viewers. Well, we started with this one, which was the green one with the bird symbol, which we now see is actually quite appropriate for Edana. I guess it represents the Grossamri, the bird. So this one is next in line. Can't really see what this is supposed to represent. Not as clear as a bird or anything. And this was the blue one, if I'm not mistaken, from the 3 projectors. And since it's in that direction, I guess we should go out through the door here instead of going back down. But we'll do that in the next video.